Hare Krishna. Here we are again in 26th Avenue. This has become our little kind of nook hangout. So we love it here. It's such a powerful, important place.
Such a spiritually saturated place.
Yeah, you just
and
feel.
what better place to read Bhagavatam?
Absolutely.
Where Prabhupada sacrificed so much.
Absolutely.
To translate. What I don't know, the word is gone, but a way to honor.
Yes. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so reading from Bhagavatam. Where are we?
Canto 4, Chapter 12, Text 16.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Text 16. Thus Dhruva Maharaj at the end left his kingdom, which extended all over the earth and was bounded by the great oceans. He considered his body, his wives, his children, his friends, his army, his rich treasury, his very comfortable palaces, and his many enjoyable pleasure grounds to be creations of the illusory energy. Thus, in due course of time, he retired to the forest in the Himalayas known as Badarik Ashram. Purport. In the beginning of his life, when he went to the forest in search of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj realized that all bodily conceptions of pleasure are products of the illusionary energy. In the very beginning, of course, he was after the kingdom of his father, and in order to get it, he went to search for the Supreme Lord. But he later realized that everything is the creation of the illusionary energy. From the acts of Srila Dhruva Maharaj, we can understand that somehow or other, if one becomes Krishna conscious, it does not matter what his motivation is in the beginning, he will eventually realize the real truth by the grace of the Lord. In the beginning, Dhruva Maharaj was interested in the kingdom of his father, but later he became a great devotee, Mahabhagava, and had no interest in material enjoyment. The perfection of life can be achieved only by devotees. Even if one completes only a minute percentage of devotional service, and then maybe minute.
That's not how you spell minute, though, is it?
No, minute.
It's with an I, isn't it?
Yeah. Even if one completes a minute percentage of devotional service and then falls down from his immature position, he is better than a person who fully engages in the fruitive activities of this material world. Interesting. I don't know when Prabhupada wrote this. What is this, 4th canto?
4th canto was probably early 70s.
Yeah, meaning, because I'm just thinking again, because you can't help but be influenced by this holy place. So when I'm reading this, it says, even if one completes only a minute percentage of devotional service and then falls down due to his immature position, he's better than someone who engaged in future activities. And I was just thinking, it's not in any way to be offensive for any, I'm not saying like that, but so many young people came here, I'm talking about here, and engaged knowingly or unknowingly in devotional service to a pure devotee. Knowingly or unknowingly, some people just came and went, but they did something, whatever that was. When I'm thinking all these people just in this place alone, whether they realize it or not, their lives, they've got that eternal spiritual credit.
Yeah. I forget, we were talking with someone, or we're just discussing about, and we often don't think like this, but this is like the long game thinking, that Krishna consciousness activities are benefiting so many people in so many ways that actually what we're doing now is populating the future devotee community. Mm-hmm. Meaning that many people who came here in the early mid-60s, early 70s, did service. They've gone on. They may have passed away now, but because they did some service and Krishna will look favorably upon them, they'll probably take birth in a devotee family or be more inclined towards devotional service. So it means that we're, by giving people prasadam, by them hearing the holy name, by people engaging in devotional service directly or indirectly, they're getting benefited. And to the extent that they do more serious devotional service, to that extent it's likely that they're going to take birth in a devotee family or come back to take part in the movement in the future.
Yeah.
So we may not see it, but let's, and just from serving in London, around the manor, and just in ISKCON in general, we see how many people come, do a lot of service, and then often they go away. But then when people come back to it in their next life, they're going to have a stronger inclination towards it, and they'll be naturally more attracted. So like that, so we just need to be prepared to bring people in, pick them up where they're at, and help them to progress further. Because it's like that.
There's somehow the other qualify them. Not that I'm saying, okay, but give them that.
No, the practice of devotional service qualifies them, and we become instruments in helping that happen.
That's what I'm not saying we. That's what I mean. But somehow you add that auspiciousness
to their life,
path, and then you create future.
It's the whole principle of fortunate people, You make people fortunate. They don't know how fortunate they're becoming, and we don't know how fortunate we're making them.
Yeah.
So many things are unseen.
It'd be fascinating though. I like these sort of things. I'd love it if we could, because you see this in documentaries on TV or whatever, where if you got people that used to come here, and I'm not talking about the people that went on to become, full-time, whatever, devotees and stayed the path on and off, but that never came back. Maybe they came once or twice. Oh yeah, we came here, we had because in the beginning Prabhupada was slicing an apple, giving it, like that, and they go on to whatever they go on to do in life, whether they stayed in New York or other parts of America. But like a documentary where, or otherwise, where you could, like, it would be fascinating to talk to those people. What did you do? Who cares if what that they went on to do? Meaning, I'm not saying do you chant, do you read? No, but it would be interesting, and then you would get another memory, Prabhupada memory, because everyone has Prabhupada memories. Oh yeah, I remember when I was there. Yeah, to me he looked like this, and he said this, because there's so much interaction that we don't know of. We only know of the interaction of the devotees who speak about it, who
tell the stories.
So much Prabhupada touched so many people, and they just, like you said, they got touched and they went on to do what they do. It would make, it would make a whole book or two, like Prabhupada memories from the other side, as it were.
Yeah.
I don't know how you find these people.
Hopefully not too far on the other side.
And I don't know how you find these
another
people,
side to that also.
Anyway.
All right, text 17. In Bhadrik Ashram, Dhruva Maharaj's senses became completely purified because he bathed regularly in the crystal clear purified water. He fixed his sitting position and by yogic practice controlled the breathing process and the air of life. In this way his senses were completely withdrawn. Then he concentrated his mind on the Archavigraha form of the Lord, which is the exact replica of the Lord. Thus meditating upon him, entered into complete trance. Powerful. Purport. Here is a description of the Astanga Yoga system to which Dhruva Maharaj was already accustomed. Astanga Yoga was never meant to be practiced in a fashionable city. Dhruva Maharaj went to Bhadrik Ashram, and in a solitary place alone he practiced yoga. He concentrated his mind on the Archavigraha, the worshipable deity of the Lord, which exactly represents the Supreme Lord, and thus thinking constantly of that deity, he became absorbed in trance. Worshipping of the Archavigraha is not idol worship. The Archavigraha is an incarnation of the Lord in a form appreciable by a devotee. Therefore, devotees engage in the temple devotees engage in the temple in the service of the Lord as Archavigraha, a form made of stula, material objects such as stone, metal, wood, jewels, or paint. All of these are called stula, or physical representations. Since the devotees follow the regulative principles of worship, even though the Lord is there in the physical form, he is non-different from his original spiritual form. Thus, the devotees get the benefit of achieving the ultimate goal of life, that is to say, becoming always absorbed in thought of the Lord. This incessant thought of the Lord as prescribed in the Bhagavad Gita makes one the topmost yogi. This incessant thought of the Lord as prescribed in the Bhagavad Gita makes one the topmost yogi. Wow, that's wonderful purport all about deity worship, and drawn from the fact that Dhruva Maharaj was instructed by Narada Muni to construct a deity form and worship that deity form. And it's so interesting to hear the term stula, which means material objects, stone, metal, wood, jewels, or paint. So these are the different forms by which you can have a worshipable deity constructed and made. And especially for someone from Western culture, or let's say non-Hindu or non-Indian culture, the concept of the deities was very strange at first. And, it wasn't bewildering, but it just, definitely what used to ring in my mind is exactly what Prabhupada said here. Oh, it's this idol worship. And there's a book by Chaitanya Chandra, or Chaitanya Charan. Which one is the scientist? Chaitanya Charan.
Yeah, I'll go back.
Yeah, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. It's titled Idol Worship, IDOL, or Ideal Worship, IDEAL, Ideal Worship. And it's a beautiful book that explains this topic of deity worship. And I always explain that, the Murti, the Archavigraha, the form of the Lord, is cast in the image that's given in Shastra. It's made according to Shastra. It's installed according to Shastra. It is worshipped according to Shastra. So everything that has to do with the deity form or the Archavigraha form is done according to Scripture. So it's in no way is it idle. It is, like Prabhupada said, really wonderful analogy, that the deity is like the official post box. So like here in America, the post office has these blue post boxes. In England, there's the red post boxes. You don't just put your letter in any old post box or any old box or through anyone's door. You have to go to that proper post box, and then you post your letter there, and it will reach its destination. So Prabhupada said, in the same way, we worship the deity because it is official and formal post box given by God that is here. This is how you can reach me, worship me through this form of the Lord. So anyway, deity worship is very powerful, and I was also thinking to read this, and tomorrow we will be trained up to worship the Chota, the small deities on Radha Muralidar's altar.
Yeah. Nrsinga
Shalagram and Chota Radha Muralidhar, Let's see, how long is this purport? It's quite long. Should we just keep it short and sweet?
Yes, we'll keep it short and sweet.
All right. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the Srimad Bhagavatam, and all glories to Matchless Gifts, 26 2nd Avenue. Hare
And
Krishna.
all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Did you say that?
I did say that.
Sorry.
But you can't say it too many times. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Haribol.